So you have a New Jersey mayor who is saying that these drone sightings are because of a missing radioactive device of some kind that came in through some New Jersey port. We've heard this before. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and then it died down, and then we just went on with all the other so-called, conspiracies and other things that people are talking about, as far as their take on what these things could be and why they're there and what they're doing. Are they shooting at each other? But, I guess apparently we have to go onto the political side of this now, because now I'm seeing a New Jersey mayor who's making this claim. And then on the other hand, we're seeing people in classified briefings. I didn't say unclassified, classified briefings for these drones. Listen, let's have a look at this this interview right here, and you'll get what I'm saying.
President-elect Trump says that the Biden administration knows what's going on. Our government knows what's going on. You're the mayor of of Bellevue. What do you know?
We know very little. About 6 days ago, there was an unprecedented briefing with every single mayor in the state of New Jersey, along with every member of our state legislature. We learned exactly at that time what the state knows, which was very little. Since then, information has not been forthcoming. And it's this lack of transparency, in my opinion, that's doing nothing but fueling conspiracy theories online.
Do you have any idea what it could be? Or which side it could be, where it's coming from?
Yeah, I can tell you what it's not. We know for a fact it's not little green men, and more than likely it's not a foreign adversary, because they would be able to figure out how to turn off the blinking lights. These drones are huge. We had a mayor yesterday on the call with the White House telling them that he had 6-foot drones hovering over his house, yet they continue to tell us we don't know what we're talking about. It's misidentification. Certainly there's some misidentification probably going on, but I could assure you that we are seeing drones in New Jersey all over the place.
All right, so Bethany Frankel, I know she's not like, the New York Times, but she says that she has like some kind of contact at the Pentagon, and that it has something to do with radioactive material in New Jersey. What are you hearing?
So here's what I know. I know that we were told by our state police that we have assets over our critical infrastructure. Now, depending on your point of view, that's either concerning or comforting. I think it's comforting because it's probably us listening and watching. We also know that we have drones that are flying in a grid-like pattern. In my opinion, they're looking for something. What might they be looking for? Well, potentially, we're aware of a threat that came in through Port Newark. Maybe that's radioactive material. There was and there is an alert that's out right now that radioactive material in New Jersey has gone missing on December 2nd. It was a shipment. It arrived at its destination. The container was damaged and was empty. So
okay,
potentially we're looking for that.
Stop right there, Mayor, because that's very important information. And that came from a credible source.
That came from the U.S. government.
And so it's missing?
Missing.
And they think it's in New Jersey, or it could be anywhere?
It was lost in New Jersey, in transit. And again, this is just an example of what I think that we're sniffing for. I think we do have the assets that can go up and fly around and sniff things, which is why we're not seeing the uptick we used to see in Belleville anymore. It's kind of moving, but we're seeing alerts that it's happening now in Pennsylvania.
And that's right about the time that the drone sightings began, right?
Yeah, drone sightings began about 4 weeks ago.
Okay, so when you take a look at this, if this information is indeed credible, why wouldn't the government say, it's us?
That's the crazy part about this. We've gotten very little information. Even yesterday on that call with the White House, literally mayors were told, you guys are seeing things. There's no credibility to this. We had one mayor, like I said, had drones over his house. I mean, we're no longer going to stand for not hearing the truth. I mean, our state government is failing us. They're not getting the answers from the federal government. And even though yesterday they told us that there's nothing to see here, today there's a top secret briefing going on in Congress. Well, what are they being told that we weren't told yesterday?
Real quick, did you know yesterday when you were on that call about this missing radioactive activity or merchandise, or did you know that this morning after the call?
I was made aware of it yesterday morning. I did raise my hand. We weren't allowed to speak. I did raise my hand, was not called on to get that question answered.
Port Newark. So apparently something came in. Based on what he's saying, someone from the federal government told him or acknowledged that something came in from Port Newark. I'm assuming New Jersey. and they've been doing grid-like patterns, which we have seen a few videos of them doing grid patterns. So then, on the other hand, you're going to hear from two guys that literally just got out of a classified briefing about drones and what is happening with them and why they're there, and listen to the answers they give. And of course, we get a little taste of this same mayor again after this. Get a load of this.
We ask this question over and over and over again. They are not federal government operations to sniff radiation, gas, recovery, anything else.
Members of the House Intelligence Committee speaking after 3 hours in a classified briefing about drones.
Based on the information we have to date, that there's no imminent threat to public safety. I believe people, and I think we shouldn't tell people they aren't seeing things. I think the key is making sure that we're on top of it, we follow through, and keep it monitored. I think that's the key.
But Belleville Mayor Michael Melham questions why the briefing had to be classified in the first place.
The fact that they're saying nothing to see here, and yet the very next day having a classified intelligence briefing about it, you can't have it both ways.
So these two guys that come out of that classified briefing, they're saying they're not sniffing around for anything. They're not looking for anything radioactive. Basically giving us nothing. There is obviously no definitive answer for why they were in the classified briefing. So we basically got nothing out of them except saying, oh, we're asked this all the time, and no, the federal government is not looking for anything. But yet you got the mayor saying that he's being told by feds that they're looking for something possibly. And again, they're doing the grid formations, and you know, they talked about, or he talked about a possible radioactive type device that came in through the port, and even expanding this search into Pennsylvania. So this whole thing now is getting political. Not that it hasn't been the whole time, but deviating away from all these other conspiracies and all this other stuff that we've been talking about in the past. I gotta say, it's like you got one person saying one thing that's not true, or trying to divert attention somewhere else, i.e. those two guys that were just talking. And then, of course, you had the mayor come back on in that same clip, reiterating what he knows, and saying you can't have it both ways. Whatever the case is, usually we can handle it. Americans can handle it. Many people around the world can handle information that could cause alarm. We've done it in the past. Unfortunately, sometimes we've had instances in the past where it's been very bad. But we get through it. We get through it together and not divided. So I don't know. What's your opinion on this? What do you think about those two guys? I think one was a representative of Connecticut. Why are they having these classified briefings if they're coming out of those briefings and saying that there's nothing to see here? At least that's what I got from it. And they're not looking for radioactive materials. They're not searching for anything. But people on the ground, where they're actually having this stuff happen over their heads, and they're getting information from state police and even federal officials, some federal officials, through certain channels, like it was alluded to in the first clip in that news interview, that they are sniffing something out and the feds are looking for something. So you got the two guys saying the feds aren't involved, they're not looking for anything, and then you got the mayor who's on the ground seeing these things on a daily basis. And although he showed concern, he did say it was comforting to know that that the officials that he works with is doing a good job. And whatever that job is, I don't know, but I'm assuming specifically whether it's looking for this device that is now supposedly expanding into Pennsylvania. And I'm hoping that's not the case. But then again, if that's not the case, we're back to square one. What is it? Because it does jive with a month ago, because I believe he specified that this supposed object or thing that came in that had possible radioactive elements with it came in about 30 days ago or so, just over 30 days. And that's about the time we started seeing the drones. So the timing is right. Let me know what you think. I think it is. I think he was right in saying so. But yeah, someone's not telling us something. I'm starting to get a little not nervous, but I'm starting to get the idea that we're not being told something, because maybe it's something bigger than what they're explaining right now. And if it is something bigger and something more nefarious, that's cause for concern, not just for people in New Jersey, because I'm working on another video, and soon you're going to see some clips of over 50 to 100 drones in Arizona, and a few other states that are out toward the Midwest and the West. And that's in the last 24 hours. I'm working on that currently. So wait until you see those. What is that all about? Because before they were talking about how these things are coming out of the ocean and all this other stuff, or from a vessel that's on the ocean. Either way, we're not being told what we should be told. We are the public. We should know what's going on. I understand for security reasons, like I said many times in my previous videos, but you have to keep some things secret. But let's just say it has to do with, I'm going back to 0 point energy, which I know for a fact that the government has confiscated from average citizens that developed this technology, and taken it away. And there's proof of threats if they made it again or produced that particular thing again. And that goes back to Dr. Greer saying that he has people that can make this 0 point energy. And if you don't know what it is, basically it's something the size of a shoebox or smaller. You kickstart it with like a 9-volt battery, and then it just keeps going until you just shut it off. And it pulls electricity right from our surroundings. I think they made the analogy that there is enough into a quarter cup, a coffee cup, to burn all the oceans of the world 10 times over. So basically that just means that it would never run out. You can have it in your car for a real electric car, not the one you plug in and have to go through fossil fuels, nuclear, anything that can just rust out and either go bad or just not function anymore. And then if it comes to that point, big oil is going to have to make a big change, and that's going to be a big fight, obviously. Your billionaires and trillionaires are not going to let go of that. It goes back to something that someone said years ago that I'm not sure what his name was, but he said, if I can't put a meter on it, no one's going to have it. That's just plain greed. So if we have that technology, we should have it. The security part of it, by all means, keep it within the security forces and the military, because that's supposed to help us. But you're not helping us by, keeping this technology away from us. And I'd like to know the reason why. We're talking about close to 100 years that we haven't needed to depend on fossil fuel, or $3 to $8 a gallon of gas. We shouldn't have to be worrying about that stuff right now. Like the Lost Century documentary. So, if you haven't seen that, it's from Dr. Stephen Greer. It's called The Lost Century. Check that out. You can probably get it anywhere, free. I think it's even on YouTube free. You just have to go through a couple of ads. But that's as far as that goes. But this political thing is getting out of control. You got mayors on the ground that have more knowledge as to what is going on. And then you got these other representatives that go to Washington and go behind closed doors and have these classified briefings on what? What is so classified? I mean, they came out and literally told us that we're just being told this all the time, like they're irritated about it. Are you kidding me? Is that what we put these people there for? I wanted to bring you those today and get your opinion on it. Leave me some comments. Like I always say, if it's your first time here, subscribe so you can be notified when I put up the next video, which I'm working on right now, because we got a lot going on in the West, Midwest, with a tremendous amount of drone or UAPs. So it's no longer just New Jersey and Pennsylvania and New York. Just so you know, it's already been confirmed. I have confirmed video clips of it, ran it through my software. For those of you who are worried about whether I'm putting up stuff that's fake or not, listen, I do my very best to put up and do a lot of research, stuff that is real, confirmed. And if you send me stuff, and most of you have, and I thank you for it, when you send me stuff, images, information, videos, yeah, I do go through it with some software to make sure that nothing was tampered with. And then when I get at least a 98% or better outcome, I'm putting it up. So I do my due diligence. So that's based on a comment that I got back from another video, and I'm answering it now. Yeah, I do my research so that we can all come together and figure out all these things that are happening that we're not getting answers to. So with that said, thank you for watching. Again, if it's your first time here, subscribe, and this way you're notified when I throw up the next video that I happen to be working on right now on these other things going on in these other states out west in the Midwest. So make sure to subscribe and definitely leave me some comments. I want to hear your opinion on what I showed you today. It means a lot and it's valued, and I will answer them. So thanks for watching, and have a good day or night wherever you may be.
The human spectrum is on the track, yeah, on the track.